Welcome, Scorpio. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you. Pulled out a couple of oracles to start with. I pulled out some Raven cards, and I will clarify with the African Tarot and finish up with the Crystal Oracle. And so I pulled from the Soul's Journey, Freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And from this card, I'm getting the energy that you have been doing a tremendous amount of work in the arena of your unconscious, your subconscious mind. You may be working with an assistant, a guide, a therapist, a doctor, someone who is helping you to externalize your story so that you can hear your very complex personal story that you are working through, that you are mining in some way. You're looking for gems in your story. And because of the sensitive nature of perhaps trauma or abuse that you have experienced, or neglect is also a form of that same kind of neglect or same kind of abuse, you are recognizing that you are putting together a new narrative for yourself that allows you to indeed build your identity and your capacity in a way that is liberating to you. I've pulled from the Egyptian sacred animals oracle, the jackal. And I'm going to read from the book. Number 9 is the number of the Hermit card. And so this might be fairly significant to you. The idea that you are going within for your wisdom obviously pertains to the process of the kind of shadow work around your subconscious experiences, knowledge, memories. The jackal key words are end and transformation. The jackal is associated with the god Anubis, symbol of death, mummification, and the afterlife. Death closes a chapter and does not necessarily represent a physical end, but often marks a major change. In these moments, there may be sadness, but also relief and a sense of completion. The card suggests returning to your roots, eliminating the superfluous, and allowing yourself space to cry. Do not pretend that everything is fine. It isn't, but it will be in the end. Something is over, even if it doesn't seem real. Sometimes there are inevitable events. Right now, the only thing you can do is entrust yourself to the protection of the jackal. Guided by its presence, you will soon discover that this transformation was necessary. Okay, let's go further here. That said a lot, and we, as so often is the case, Scorpio, are dealing in the area of your strength, your incredible resilience, ability to confront things that would melt other people, that would absolutely slay others. You march fearlessly into that dark closet, that dungeon, that cave, willing to face whatever those ghosts are in your present. The Knight of Swords, interesting. So this is sort of defining this process of exploration that you're doing, of uncovering, unearthing aspects of yourself and your experience as being a part of challenging your own assumptions. The pieces of the story that you're retrieving are looking differently to you now. What you thought of as an experience of oppression or repression is now looking as though, as looking like opportunities for you to recognize and empathize with the experiences of others in some cases, others to whom you are deeply bonded, Both can be true. You can experience neglect or even abuse from someone who loves you. And you are able, through this deep soul work that you're doing, to understand both things are true. Those who sought to protect you thought they were doing what was right by steering you in a certain direction that may have ended up not to be your path. But this is an example of the ways in which we can hold more than one truth within ourselves, and that contributes to the richness of our experience, the complexity of our understanding of human nature. In the past, the Eight of Swords is talking about the sense of general overwhelm that has been uh, imposed upon you in some ways through events in the outside world, have triggered responses, information, experiences that have been difficult for you to sort through, to pierce through. You feel restricted, caged, and this can be as much about the way you were protected by others as it is the way that you've learned to cope with the various dangers that show themselves in the world of our current social life. I do feel that you're trying to integrate the massively different approaches of others, many of whom you respect, into simplify that into a way to move forward. So you're absolutely will be successful in an enterprise, in your search for a truth, in your clarity. You're building a story that is more reflective of your truth. However, you are necessarily needing to trust your inner intuition to sort this out. This is something that can't be handled solely through your intellect. In fact, it's your intellect that's helping you to understand or to retrieve what you are intuitively knowing. This is asking you, what do you already know? Not what other people know, but what do you know? And you're really moving forward with that clarity in building upon something, in manifesting this liberation that is moving you towards some kind of a clear narrative of who you are and where you're going. In the future, the Knight of Pentacles is describing this beautiful way that you are slowing down to understand the power of your current experience, the power of the truths that you are holding. This is absolutely overwhelming. You are some kind of a cultural standard bearer or weather vane, bellwether for cultural movements. Perhaps this is through your family history, your ancestry, your cultural history or standards. But you are synthesizing not just your own experience, but the experiences of many others, perhaps a generation, your generation, or a specific cultural segment of your experience that you are sorting through, understanding, looking at the complexity of truth and experience that was that. Holding that vision is what is informing your knowledge of the next steps forward. I feel like you're choosing your approach and now you're gaining the assistance. You're asking for the help you need. You recognize that you don't have to know exactly where you're going. You do need to know one step at a time, and you are pacing yourself according to your own needs, your own understanding, your own time. You recognize the sacredness in the truths that you hold. And that is really in a timeless, eternal space. and holding that kind of truth, that kind of justice, or the awareness of the justice that your story is seeking is a large responsibility. And so you're moving at a pace, one step at a time. No need to get too far ahead of yourself. You're building towards something very monumental here. If this reading is resonating for you, like, share, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the support that you give me. I'm very grateful for your presence here. In the past, the Eight of Swords is clarified by the Three of Pentacles, I believe that is. And let's keep going here. The Four of Cups. Okay, yeah. It looks like you have been working with others collaboratively for a while here. Part of the source of the information that you have received, the truth that you are gaining uh, in your pursuit of such, is this way of working with others who bring their expertise forward and with you collaborate to solve a problem, build something, create something. The vision of what you're creating is definitely very elevated. Excellence is your byword. You're looking at the best examples and models that you would like to emulate. And this is overlapping with this idea that something is still missing. You are practicing to the best of your ability ways to support yourself. You're choosing the supports that work for you, that recognize your worth and value. And you're trying to figure out if something that is on offer, something that you desire, is right for you. So I see you in some way restraining yourself from identifying a clear goal, because you're still sorting through and practicing ways in which you are learning to every day support yourself through your well-being, through your creative effort or expression, the way that you are feeling good about what you are creating. And this absolutely attends to not only the values and standards of excellence and beauty and harmony, but it also relates to the sense about how you want to feel about what you're creating and accomplishing, and how you want to be regarded as the result of this effort you're making. In the present, the Knight of Swords is clarified by something flipped, and the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man. So I do see you very clearly recognizing when you have expended the limits of your knowledge, when you reach that place where you don't know, where you have to do research, or it feels like you're hunting down a lot of clues, a lot of bits of information, or ways of doing things that you're unfamiliar with, or perhaps you were exposed to but you've forgotten about. This feels like a way in which you are identifying the kind of help you need to move forward in any project. But overall, you're aware that you are stepping back from what you've learned about your experience in order to move towards a perspective that is all encompassing, more inclusive than you had formerly defined, whatever your effort or subject or arena that you have been practicing in. So you're aware that there's more there for you to see, for you to incorporate. This is not about keeping up with the latest trends or information. That isn't what I'm talking about, but it does mean that through that effort, you are accumulating lots of information. It isn't all useful. And so you are, as a part of filtering the information that you receive, doing your research, you are gaining a perspective that is in alignment with your goals, your values for a better world. And in the future, the Knight of Pentacles is clarified by, okay, this was on top. I'm going to take that. And you know what? I'm going to take the Fool. My goodness. I'm taking all of those cards because I think I should. So we're starting first with the Six of Cups. You are definitely retrieving the value of your gift, the way it made you feel in the past. Playfulness, lightness, no agenda, simply exercising your gift in a playful, joyful way that gave a lot of pleasure to others. And this is something that you are, despite the heavy lifting that you're doing regarding your own healing and the immense knowledge you've accumulated in this regard, you really want to get back to the joy, the creativity, the imaginative capacity that enables your gift. The Ace of Swords is emphasizing, yes, clarity is yours. Clarity is coming to you, even if you don't feel as though you have it now. You're definitely, I think, you're very clear about your process to achieve your goal, to create something that reflects you, that reflects your story. That is clarity that you have and are gaining in its relevance to the world, its relevance to the needs and desires of others in the world. I'm taking these two together, the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. You have moved into a place of exploration that is quite different from what you have practiced in the past. For some of you, you are well educated, you have a long experiential um, practice in whatever form of expression or effort that you are making. You have been there and done a lot. You've accumulated a lot of positive karma in your ability to work with others as a collaborator. However, you're understanding now that this new journey is taking you to a level unexperienced because this time you've gained faith. The faith that led you into the underworld, the courage that it took to collect those broken pieces of yourself and to start to put them in order, to examine them in a fresh way, has built up your trust in self, your faith in who you are and in your gift. Your worthiness is no longer a question for you. Yes, it is a practice. It continues to be a practice, but your sense of deserving what you desire is no longer at issue. And this is revolutionizing your experience in this particular vein of effort or expression. I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle, and the Amazonite just fell out. And I'm going to take that, and the key word is life purpose. I'm fully aligned to and living my life purpose. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.